Welcome back to the lab, folks. Today we got a little mailbag video for you. So why don't we get started with that? To tell the truth, I have an awful lot of AliExpress mail, but I just chose these three packages. We'll do these a little bit more frequently, a little bit less in them, but I have so much that it would be an hour-long mailbag video, and that's just ridiculous. So let's get on with this here. As normal, everything I get here will be from AliExpress, and we'll leave links to everything down in the description. Okay, what are these? Yes, these are little dip switches, little dip switches in packages. Yeah, they're just for making little configuration changes on projects. You do up a little PC board and you want to be able to make some changes. That's what these are for. I have some of the bigger, blockier ones, but these are sometimes a little bit more aesthetic, or fit into an area a little bit better. These are handy as well. So are these all the same? Are they the same? I can't really tell. No, these ones are longer. So these ones here are 6, and these ones here are 3. So we'll keep them separate. Definitely a handy item to have in stock. And they can also be used on solderless breadboards. Not that I do much of that anymore, but I do once in a while. And these can be plopped into the solderless breadboard and used as a configuration changer. They actually fit better into the solderless breadboard than the big blocky ones. I hope you know what I mean, but they're, you know, the traditional style dip switch. Okay, this is just high performance, and I hope it's silicone grease, because that's what I thought I was ordering. Let's have a look. 10 grams, and we have to cut it. Yes, it's a silicone grease. I use silicone grease for a lot of things, but one of the main things are for my solder suckers. So they have those little chambers in them, and the removed solder builds up, and they have to be cleaned out once in a while, and the gaskets need lubricating to seal properly. So any kind of solder sucker, you know, the electric ones, like this Hakko here, and the manual ones, like these here. Now I don't use this one much anymore, but I do use this one quite often. It's pretty effective. They do also need cleaning out and a little bit of silicone grease put on the O-rings and the gaskets and stuff like that, just to keep them all sealed up and performing properly. So I got basically, this looked like to me like a lifetime supply. And I think I got it as a part of one of the choice deals on AliExpress. So yeah, I'll leave all the information, put it up on the screen or leave it down in the description. Now the big bag, seems like there are a number of items in here. I wonder if they all have something to do with electronics. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes I order stuff for other reasons. Ah, okay, yeah. All right, so this here is a crimper for Ethernet cables. And I have a project coming up where I'm trying to straighten out my wiring closet. It's not really, it's just a storeroom, but I have my NAS units in there, and my routers and my switches. And there's just cables going all over the place, like big long cables, like 3-footers to 6-footers and stuff like that, you know, where I only need like maybe 9 inches or something like that. So what I want to do is I want to do a complete rewiring of that and make custom cables the right length, so that it's not just a big rat's nest in there. Now this, I actually saw this on Big Clive's channel. He got one of these, and he liked it. So I have to learn how to use it. Doesn't seem to be crimping anything there. Oh, okay, so that button releases it. Now the nice thing about this one here is that it uses the plugs that have the pass-through on the end of them. So they're much easier to set up. You just push the wires right through. You have a little bit dangling at the end, but this thing has a knife here that'll cut those off. And it looks like they give you a spare blade with it too, which is very nice. So why don't I Why don't I arrange a video, like a testing AliExpress electronics video, where we go through that process, and I can show you this in action. But like I do have an older style,
2,000 years later,
which I can't seem to locate right now, but it doesn't trim off the ends, and then I have to go with a knife or something like that, trim off the ends. And sometimes a little whisker will short out to another wire, and it won't work, and then I have to go back and put it under a microscope and find out which one. And yeah, so I am hoping that this will improve the situation and make the job a little bit easier on me. So it'll do RJ11, it'll do the 6-wire ones. I don't know what they're called off the top of my head, and the RJ45s. And it shows you the wiring pattern here. And it doesn't matter what wiring pattern you use as long as you're consistent. So you just make both ends like this or both ends like this. It doesn't matter what other wiring patterns are used in your network. It really doesn't. It just matches up the pairs to the right pins. So in this case, you've got a green wire here on this pair. In this case, you have orange wire on this pair, and things like that. So it just matches up the same pairs, but with different color combinations. So you don't really have to worry about which one you use. Pick one, use it on both ends, use it on all your cables, whatever you want to do. All right, so this is going to be handy, and that's nice, actually. Okay, so yeah, these are the kind of plugs that work with that. These are the ones with the pass-through. The wire will go right through the ends here, and then you just crimp it in that, and they'll snip off the wires on the end for you. Nice, quick, and easy. And what else do we have in here? Ah, yes. This is pretty neat. I got this on spec, but I'm sure I can find a project for it. But I thought I'd try it out in something and maybe buy more. In fact, I did buy more. I bought some single cell ones. But this is a battery holder for 18650 lithium cells. Now this one here puts 2 cells in parallel, so you double the current. But you can get them for different numbers of cells, and you can get them in series or in parallel, depending on what your arrangement is. But these ones here are just straight in parallel. And I guess you have to wire them up by soldering to these little tabs here, which doesn't look convenient. We'll have to see how that goes, see if we can do it without melting the plastic. I thought they would give a little bit more to solder to. You just have to cut out the hole and put it down there, mark the 4 holes, drill them, and then mount the thing right into the box. And you don't have to open up the box to get to it later. You have external access then after that. And yeah, I think these are going to be nice to use. We'll see. All right, what do we have here? Oh yeah, this is for a specific project. Not really electronics related. I have a garden shed out the back, and I have a piece of cable, variable cable, that goes out there, but it's not enough to get all the way to the shed. I don't want to have to go back to, because this stuff's expensive, right? They're charging like $2 a foot for this. I don't want to have to go back and get another piece the full length of it's going from my wood shed to the utility shed. So I don't have to buy that. It's quite a good distance, maybe about 40 or 50 feet. Right now I've got 30 feet, so if I could go back to the store and buy 20 feet, that's a lot better. So I got this thing here. It's supposed to be rated for waterproofness. I think IP67, if I'm not mistaken. You just bring your cable in here, the other cable in there, and make a connection with this block here, and then bolt it all down, and you should have a waterproof connection. So yeah, unfortunately you won't see that in action, but I can always report back on what I did and how it worked. All right, what else do we have in here? We have this bag. Yeah, this is just enameled copper wire. I want to build up a magnet, so I got some 1mm diameter enameled copper wire to build up an electromagnet. This is going to be way more than enough, but I'll have the rest left over to make coils or whatever else I need to make. They have this, I should mention, they have this in very, very thin versions as well, like 0.1 millimeter. And that's great for point-to-point wiring because this insulation on it will burn off with a soldering iron. It makes a very easy way to do point-to-point wiring. Also, Kynar wire does too. I use that as well. But this, you don't have the extra step of having to strip the wire. You just put it in place and heat it up and the insulation will burn off. Well, I guess that's it, folks. This is a very, very short little video for you today. Lets you get back to watching other videos or doing other things. So thanks for coming out. Thanks for watching. Check all the stuff down in the description there. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And I think to do another review of a Furnisi product. So here's a teaser. It's a very popular item these days, or a very popular type of item. And this one is pretty unique in some ways. So yeah, look forward to that video. Hopefully my schedule might improve a little bit. I'm going to try to do at least one video a week, but we'll see how that goes. Lots of important things happening in my life right now. Catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.